and welcome to another powerful episode of Perimenopause and Beyond, your safe space to navigate midlife shifts, understanding your body, your hormones, and this phase of life with more clarity and less confusion. I am your host, Dr. Sulbha Arya, your friend, guide, and mentor in this journey of helping women navigate midlife changes with awareness, confidence, and the right knowledge to take control of their health. Now, if you are someone who feels that their body has suddenly stopped responding to the way it used to, maybe your workouts are not working, maybe your weight isn't shifting, maybe your energy feels low, and somewhere along the way you have started questioning your own efforts, then today's conversation is going to feel very relevant to you, because today we are not just going to talk about fitness. We are going to understand how our body is changing and how we need to change the approach that we take along with it. And to dive into this, hello, and I'm really excited to welcome our guest today, Sumaya Anwar. She's a menopause fitness coach, licensed menopause champion, and the founder of MenoCore. She helps busy professionals and organizations reclaim their health through strength training, intentional movement, and sustainable lifestyle shifts. She works with women in midlife to help them rebuild strength, energy, and confidence in a way that is realistic and sustainable. In today's episode, we are going to talk about why your workouts stop working after 40, why extreme dieting and over exercising can actually backfire, and how strength training can become a game changer for you during this phase of life. And most importantly, how can women start to shift their mindset from it's too late for me now, then this is where I need to begin. This is the conversation of moving from frustration to understanding, from confusion to clarity. So let's dive in. Hello, Sumaya. I'm so glad to have you here today with me.
Thank you so much for that lovely introduction, Dr. Sulva. It's lovely to be chatting with you. And I hope in the next 60 minutes, we're able to give some real authentic takeaways for women and confidence to start their strength training journey or work with their body differently. Really looking forward to chatting with you the next few minutes,
Thank you.
next hour.
So, Sumaya, often I see that women in their 40s, they are confused regarding where to start, when to start. There are some of the biggest mistakes that they keep on making. So, what are, according to you, are the mistakes that women make in their 40s, so far as their fitness is concerned?
So there are a few mistakes that I have noticed working with women, okay, who come to me. One is doing excessive cardio. Okay, very often we walk into the gym and it's a very normal scenario where the man goes to the weights and the woman goes towards the treadmill. It's a very typical scenario. You never see a woman running towards the weights. So I think the biggest mistake we make is thinking that cardio is really going to help us through the stage. Okay, and we will discuss later on as to why cardio will not help us as much at this stage. Number two is just doing the same weight over and over again. Okay, we take that 5 kilos and we go on squatting with those 5 kilos over and over again. We don't progressively challenge our muscles, and our muscles don't adapt as easily. Then eating too little is another mistake that I have seen that women very often make. Okay, eating too little will not support your hormones at this time. So that's another mistake that I see. And four is treating it like it's like a destination, like in a hurry. We tend to come in and we want to do this also, we want to do that also, we want to do that also, and we want to achieve it like really, really fast, not giving its time, not giving our body time to adapt, just makes you tired and discourages you. So these are the four mistakes that I have seen in my career that women very often make when they start their journey or when they are in their journey.
So you just mentioned about excessive cardio. I'm very curious to know why excessive cardio and eating too little backfires in midlife.
Both of them actually give you the same result. They increase the stress on your body. Okay, eating too little at this stage in your life, where we're talking about women going through hormonal changes. And we already know that our body is stressed, our nervous system is stressed because our hormones are depleting, and our cortisol is already very high. When we eat too little, our body again looks at it as stress. Okay,
Yes.
and when the body looks at eating little and is under stress, it just stores more fat, which means it's eating into your muscle. Our muscle is a very expensive thing for our body to maintain. For our body to maintain 1 kg of muscle, it needs to burn a lot of calories. But if our body is under stress, the first thing it does is get rid of expensive things. Like when we are financially dry, we do, sell our gold or whatever. So our body is saying, sell this gold away so we can, survive. So that's one thing that happens. Second is our digestion slows down, so our nutrient absorption doesn't happen. So we are basically working against our body. And similarly, with excessive cardio, what happens is at that moment your body is burning glucose, okay, to support your cardio. But after you finish, the body starts storing fat because that spike is causes a low again, and then again the body starts storing fat. So both these things are very, very detrimental for women going through midlife.
So many women need to hear this, because a lot of women I see in my practice, the only solution that they have to weight gain is eating less, pushing harder, and usually they end up repeating the same cycle again and again, and they keep coming back for the same reasons. मैं तो कम खा रही हूँ फिर भी मेरा वेट नहीं जा रहा, मैं तो बहुत एक्सरसाइज कर रही हूँ फिर भी मेरा वेट नहीं जा रहा. So now I would want to ask you here, like you said, women move towards the treadmill and men move towards the weights. How
Yes.
can we change this mindset and introduce women to strength training, and they should know how to tell them where to begin?
So, where to begin is very, very, very slowly. Okay. I know we are talking about strength, we're talking about becoming stronger, we're talking about muscle, but we need to understand that where you start is very, very, very small and very, very gradual. Okay. I always tell women, treat fitness as a journey, not as a destination.
Yes,
Okay.
very.
There are so very often we face injuries, okay, excessive muscle soreness, and you tend to get very discouraged. You don't want to do it. Okay. So when we start small, our connective, so what we first start with is preparing our joints. Our muscles might be strong, okay, but our joints are not able to take the load. So, what I say is develop your connective tissue. Start small. Work with bands, work on your posture. Okay. And it's better you do 2, 3 smaller sessions a week than go all out in 15 days and then get depleted and say, no, I'm not going to do it. This is too hard.
This is going to be my
Start with,
next question. I was
yeah,
going to
yeah.
a lot of women, in the beginning, they are all like, oh, I'll just do this and I'll just do that. And after maybe 15 days or a month, or the whole energy fizzles out, and they leave doing what they are doing. Here, I really like that point that you mentioned, that treat it as a journey, not as a destination. It's not that in 1 month you'll achieve something. You have to build your it with baby steps every day.
Absolutely, absolutely. We are so influenced by what we see on Instagram. Okay, if somebody sees my page also, they will get like, oh my God, we need to do this, we need to do that. No, it's anybody you see who's doing so well on Instagram probably has invested a chunk of their life doing it. Okay, I mean, like for me, I've spent 25 years doing it. I mean, you will probably get there. Your body will get there, but give it time. Okay, we don't wait for it. We don't follow the process gradually, and your body will adapt. So I would say starting slow, starting small, where you are, and building up. Have that ambition for yourself. Build up, like every week, build up a little more, one more squat or one more push up or one, but keep building it and you will get there, but start small.
So, which brings me to my next question. A lot of women also feel that it's too late for them to start now, in their 40s, 45, 50. They start feeling, uncomfortable. Where do you think this belief comes from? And is it really that it's too late for them to start now?
Okay, right now your question has two parts. One of
Yeah.
it is the belief system, and
Mm,
the other is it too late to start?
mm.
I think the belief system comes from the fact that the moment a woman is not in her reproductive years, she's in a decline. Like our body has some expiry, and the validity of our body, or the lifespan of our body depends on our reproductive system. And after that, it's like, you're too old. And it is so embedded that, for everything, women keep saying, oh, I'm too old. I'm too old for this. I'm too old for that. Which is so, so sad, because scientifically, it's been proven that metabolically we don't slow down till about 60, 65 years old. Okay, so this whole attachment of our younger is dependent on our reproductive life. We need to start moving from that. Okay, in fact, the women I work with do kick-ass stuff after 50. In fact, a client of mine just got into running and just finished a complete marathon at 56. So I guess it is about moving away from that mindset. Unfortunately, it's very, very prevalent in our culture. What I've also noticed is I belong to a Muslim family, and in our caste, we get married very fast. I mean, we get married at around 2021, and we get our daughters married also very fast. I don't, but this is the culture we come from. So by the time a woman is 45 or 47, she's already a grandmother. And then you're like, oh, I'm too old. And today, when I go into my community, and they're like, oh my God, you're still wearing shorts and walking around, and we have two grandchildren. So I guess it's just the way we've been tuned to do things. And yes, it is changing, and hopefully the next generation will do things differently. Is it too old for somebody to start? That's another question altogether. I mean, that I would support with another scientific evidence that muscle is the only age reversible organ in our bodies. So, what does that mean? That means that though your body keeps a score, whether when you are going through this transition and you have not done any strength and you don't have muscle, it starts showing up. It starts showing up in metabolic disease. It starts showing up in your bone health. It starts showing up with your loss of muscle, which is sadly inevitable. But the beauty of it is that whenever you start stretching, and if you do it well with proper progressions, you can start building muscle. Your bone health improves, your muscle health improves, and you're able to reverse so many of your diseases, which is such a beautiful thing. I mean, it is never too late. You have Helen, who is 83, 86, who started strength training now. So what is our excuse? I mean, it's such a beautiful chance that, our body gives us, saying, come on, start today. If you should have started before your hormones transitioned, but even if you start today, I will support you. So when your body is giving out that hand, I mean, it's left up to you to actually hold it and start moving. So I hope that answers both your questions.
Very beautifully described. So when you were mentioning about Helen, so I also had this, chance encounter in my gym. There's a lady. She's not coming, but in a couple of months ago, she's 80 plus again, and she would come and she would do little, and the trainer, she also hired the trainer for her personal training. And uh, in the beginning everybody was like, looking at her, what is she doing here? And really, I used to appreciate her enthusiasm. She would show up every day no matter what.
Absolutely. So I have a client. I mean, I talk about her extensively, and I absolutely love the courage. She's 63 today, and she came to me last year because she was finding it hard to sit and stand without support. Okay, and she didn't want to become dependent on anybody, and she's like, अभी 60 साल की हूँ, 20 साल तक जीना है और 20 साल जीना है, मेरे को इतनी मोहताजी में नहीं जीना है, तो मेरे को मेरी मदद कर दो. Okay, and her only goal was बिना सहारे के जीना है मेरे को बस, and it's so beautiful. Okay, we put small goals. Shoelace, we need to tie our shoelace without issues. We need to, sit and stand without support. Muslim lady hai, sajda karna hai, niche बैठ के नमाज पढ़ना है. It was so beautiful. Today she's squatting and she's lunging with weights. So if you are 63 and you can make that first step, all you need is a good coach. And it is extremely important. I tell women
I,
this, that when you begin your journey, especially as we progress in age, our muscles and our bones are not forgiving. So just going and dancing around in the gym, jumping around is not going to really help you. Okay, you get a good coach, learn good postures, learn what your body needs, and then you progress, and you will definitely see it. You will definitely, there is no way that your body doesn't respond. It's
very
beautiful.
beautiful
It's a
point raised, because usually when I talk to women, I say this thing to women: we realize the mistakes that we are making now, we're going to pay for later. Women right now, they feel कि अभी सब कुछ ठीक है, so there is no need to do for strength training for them. And as you pointed out about the 63-year-old lady, फिर उस टाइम पे जाके आपको लगता है अब तो शरीर किसी काम का नहीं रहा. And if your lifespan is like 70, 75, 80, do you want to be dependent on others for 10 good 10 15 years? Your life becomes miserable. तो अपने आप
absolutely.
को ठीक से चलाने के लिए भी, आई वॉन्ट टू टेल एवरीबडी दैट स्ट्रेंथ ट्रेनिंग इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. Basic strength training, and go for a good coach who can really guide you in a stepwise manner on how to build your routine. So with this,
Sulba, sorry,
yes,
sorry. Last point to this before you move on to the next question. It is women. It's proven that women live 10 years longer than men. Okay, I mean, our lifespan is much longer than men. And we don't live in an era where you and me probably took care of our parents. I mean, we did. We stayed at home, we took care of our parents, our ailing parents. Today's generation, I don't see my child is like totally free doing their own thing, and ultimately we're just going to land up in an old age home and somebody taking care of us. So this is my point over and over again to women. I mean, at what point do you realize that you don't want that kind of dependency, you know or
yes,
you
I
don't want
realized
to
that at
cling on to
40.
your children?
I
Sorry.
realized that at 40. I realized that at 40 when I saw my parents. Again, I had the same thought. My brother is taking care of them, fine. But I don't see my children taking care of me. I need to do something about my body,
Yeah,
myself, so that I'm not
yeah,
dependent on them for my, at least, the daily physical activities.
yeah. Anyway, so you can proceed to your next question.
Yes, yes. So, now here I feel that a lot of women also don't start out because of the fear of injury, or they feel that their body won't be able to handle it. How much of it is real, or is
Um,
it mindset?
Injury is very, very real, Sulba. I mean, it is, Dr. Sulba. It Injury, like I said already. We think of going to the gym and ये भी उठा लो, वो भी उठा लो, ऐसा भी कर लो, वैसा भी कर लो, यहाँ भी कूद लो, वैसे भी कर लो, बिकॉज वी आर इन सच अ हरी। अरे 5 kg कम करना है, कम ही करना है, 1 महीने में ही कम करना है, ओके। एंड टुडे फिटनेस इज अवेलेबल एट एवरी नूक एंड कॉर्नर। आई मीन, आई एम फ्रॉम बैंगलोर, हर जगह चली जाओ जिम मिल जाएगा। आजकल 1,000 रुपया 1 महीने के लिए is the bare minimum. You will get membership in group classes, okay? And we just go, we sign up. कुछ तो कर रहे हैं ना? You know, we don't realize the intricacy. At the end of it, you are loading your joints that are not ready. You are pushing your body that is not ready. Okay, abhi tak your body is still getting used to it, but you're pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. कौन सा मसल, जब वेट लिफ्ट कर रहे हैं, कौन सा मसल यूज हो रहा है, you need to understand that. How do you hold your core? How do you support your back? These are real nuances of strength training. उसका बिना उसे बिना समझे you are loading it, you are jumping around. Injury is unavoidable under these circumstances. ओके, सो किचन में जाके तीन चार सामान डाल के डिश नहीं बन जाता, राइट? वी लर्न हाउ टू लेयर। मसाला कैसे भूनना है, सब्जी कैसे डालना है, कब डालना है, मटन यूज कर रहे हैं तो मटन कैसे डालना है, कब डालना है, कितना भूनना है। These are intricacies we learn, right? Because we want the dish to turn out beautiful. Similarly, even with strength training, if we don't understand what is the connection, what is the neural connection, what is the joint health, which muscle are we engaging, उसमें जाके आप 1,000 रुपया देके जंप करके आएंगे तो इंजरी is inevitable. So many people get backache, so many people get knee pains because of that. When I work with clients, just for them to understand, connect with your core, 1 महीना लग जाता है, okay? Because I focus a lot on core strength before loading. So just for them to understand what is your core, how to hold it, 1 महीना लग जाता है. So you need to be patient and you need to work with somebody. So injuries are extremely real, and we need to be very careful when we are working with our bodies post 40, because your once you injure yourself, recovery takes much longer. You're not younger, your hormones are not supporting your body, you are not younger, it takes way longer. So I would say proceed with caution, proceed with somebody who's an expert. If that is expensive, take them for just 3 months, but learn before you go and think. You know, it's our mindset again over here, Sabha, where we are okay about spending a lot of money in our expensive bags, our expensive clothes. We are good with spending bahar jaake khana kha lo. You know, we are okay about those things. But when it comes to our fitness, we are like, "Arey, itna zyada paisa?" You know, but the value that paisa brings is something we need to look at very differently, you know. So it may be expensive, but use it for a shorter time, but learn how, which muscle is working, learn how to connect, get your joints ready. Then you transition to something like, you know, a normal gym where you come and do. Overnight you
Very
cannot do it. So injuries are very real, and it's too late to start. Was that your next part
the next
of
part,
your
the
question?
next section. No, you can
No,
continue.
your question had 2 parts.
No, it was real versus mindset.
Yeah, yeah, okay. So that answers your question, I hope, about injuries.
Yes. You have
Yeah.
beautifully answered the question. You addressed both the parts. So, a lot of times I also feel that women, they postpone working out because they feel too tired by the end of the day and they feel they have too much on their plate. So, how can you motivate, or how can you tell them to, shift their lifestyle in such a way that they can include small things into their daily routine? that would help them build their strength.
So fatigue is very, very real for a lot of women going through this transition. Okay. I would look at fatigue in two ways. Why are they feeling so fatigued? Okay. Are they not sleeping well? Are they undernourished? What is the cause? Or is it just the mindset? So there are three parts to this. So if they are not sleeping well and they are undernourished, I would first look at correcting those two. And for women who are not sleeping well and who are undernourished, I wouldn't start loading them. I would tell them, no, एक 20 मिनट का walk कर लो. Okay? Because walking again will reset your mind, will bring down your stress levels, okay, will help you sleep better, and it also brings down your cortisol levels. Okay, so I would say, chalo, walking kar lo. For people who are not sleeping well, who are so stressed, unki body ko or stress karna, I wouldn't advise. I would say, but walking and movement is non-negotiable. But for people who have just regular life that is draining them out, okay, which is regular life wala mental fatigue, I would say gym jao, 10 minutes. So basically, what happens is the most difficult part is that starting 10-15 minutes. एक बार you get into the momentum, आपका mindset भी change हो जाएगा. Okay, so you 10 मिनट जाओ. अगर 10-15 मिनट में आपका माइंडसेट नहीं चेंज हुआ, आपका मेंटल फटीग सेम है, तो आ जाओ. मगर 90% ऑफ द पीपल हु हैव गॉन, वो 10-15 मिनट में दे बी लाइक चक इट, कर ही लेते हैं, इधर तक आए हैं, कर ही लेते हैं. Okay, so these are the two ways I work with clients. Okay, it's a trick. A lot of women, I mean, we don't give ourselves वो टाइम अपने लिए निकालते नहीं है. तो जब 15 मिनट बोलती हूँ ना, then they are like, चलो 15 मिनट कर लेते हैं, देखते हैं, then it just happens. We have this mindset of not putting our needs, सब वही that same person who you say मैं थक गई हूँ, उनका बच्चा आएगा और बोलेगा मम्मी थोड़ा भूख लगी है तो सैंडविच करके बना देंगे. Okay, they will not even focus on. So I'm like, आपके लिए 15 मिनट है तो चलो जाके वार्म अप कर लो, अगर वार्म अप के बाद नहीं हुआ तो वापस आ जाओ. So these are the two ways you can work with yourself. Okay, but but actually we need to make this a routine. Like, where I'm concerned, I keep my shoes out and I don't have, like, after my afternoon coffee, it's my gym time. So the moment I have coffee, irrespective of what's going on, I just run to the gym. Okay, 15 minute, 20 minute, 45 minutes, jo bhi hai. It's like I know if I've had my coffee. So it's called habit stacking. So that's
Yes.
another thing that I help women with. Like, कोई जो आप बहुत enjoy करते हैं, उसके साथ stack कर लो. Like, दो गाने सुनना है आपको, गाना सुन लो, फिर उसके बाद जिम चली जाओ. So these are little tricks you can do with yourself to be a little regular.
Very nicely mentioned. Habit stacking is one thing. That coffee and gym, even I have connected both the things. In my afternoon, that's my routine. After having my coffee, I straight away run to the gym. Ho gaya, ho gaya. Agar the day I postpone it, it usually happens that something or the other comes up and I don't end up doing it. So yes, definitely habit stacking really helps, and build up your habits in a way that you enjoy doing them together.
Yeah.
So, you also here, can you tell women about some realistic weekly fitness routine that everybody can fit into their busy lifestyle?
Depends on how busy you are, Dr. Sulba. I would say a 40 minute every day, if it's possible, is great. Okay. But what I say is look at fitness like a basket. Okay. Put things that you absolutely love. Some women love walking, some women love dancing, some women love yoga, some women love Pilates. So put 2 to 3 days of what you love, because I mean, a lot of women, 80% of the women find lifting weights the most boring thing, actually. Okay. There are very few people, and hard. So there are very few people who actually enjoy. So what I say is, yes, strength training is non negotiable. Okay. But look at fitness as modules. Put two things that you love, put two things like stretching and mobility, which are important, and put just minimum. If you don't enjoy strength training, put 2 days of strength training. Just 2 days. And out of 7 days, if 2 days is boring, it's fine. On the rest of the days, do your swimming, enjoy your dancing. Just give yourself. I don't look at it as fitness, I look at it as time towards me aging healthily. So, how much time are you willing to give yourself to age healthily? It's okay, there's no judgment. It can be 30 minutes, it can be 40 minutes a day, but you need to think about yourself also. So, and make it fun, make it interesting. Strength training is a non negotiable. 2 to 3 times is fantastic. I mean, let that be a non negotiable. The rest of the time, do something that you enjoy, where you go out. Sometimes I just walk and I skip and I scream and I sing loudly, and people in my complex think I'm a little crazy, but I just zone out and I love it, because you can't always do hard things. So I'm like 40 minutes for yourself to age healthily a day with a variety of things to keep it interesting would be an excellent start.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, is it the same as the tailored fitness, or what exactly is tailored fitness?
So,
According to
what
you?
I say for tailored fitness is every person is different. Okay. For example, everybody's starting point is different. Everybody's lifestyle is different. For example, I have somebody who has endometriosis. I have somebody who's 67 years old. I have somebody who's been physically abused. So each one of us are very, very different people. We can't look at somebody else next to us and expect to मेरे को वो करना है. Okay, so when I say tailored fitness, it is where is it that, what is my starting point? Where is my body at today? What are my stress levels? What are my energy levels? What is my nutrition like? You start from there, okay, and
Okay.
you build up. What is my exercise history? Again, it's not fair to be comparing yourself to somebody else and doing it. So when I tailor a program for another person, I do a whole lot of lifestyle questionnaires as to what your lifestyle is like. Then what's your exercise history? What's your injury history? Okay, so we need to take all these things into consideration and work gently and gradually with the person.
Wow.
So that's what is tailored fitness.
So, what factors should women, particularly be aware of when she's designing her own routine? Should it be the hormones or the lifestyle, the sleep, the diet, the work?
I would say first start with sleep. Okay, I mean, we all know how sleep is so, so, so important, Our system is so stressed that sleep is the only rejuvenating medicine for our system. Okay, the first thing is, I would say sleep, okay, because if you don't sleep well, then pushing your body under stress is going to again set you back. Okay, what is the point in pushing a body that is not even recovered? Your recovery is taking a beating, your stress levels are high when you don't sleep. So the first thing that I would say is sleep. Okay, second is nutrition. It's extremely important, irrespective of how much I talk about strength training. If you don't fuel well, then again you are stressing your system. So these two come hand in hand. It's extremely, extremely important. I mean, women are really taught to eat less. Forget women. When I got married, my husband is a small eater, and I have this habit of eating a large breakfast and tiny, tiny meals after that. But when I would see my husband eating two slices of toast, I would be like, oh my God, I'm a girl, so I need to eat less than him. So I used to eat one slice of toast, and hamisha I would be hungry and cranky all the time. Really, because of all these, today I eat my six eggs and I'm like, pal, you don't want to eat, don't eat. I'm going to eat, okay? So, yeah, fueling, I mean, you're laughing. Really, the kind of things we are born with, isn't it? I mean, you need to look prettier than your husband, you need to eat lesser than your husband, and all those crazy things that we believe that we should do. Anyway, sleep and nutrition are extremely, extremely important. And then exercise and movement come in. Okay, so first is focus on your sleep. Make sure you're at least eating to support your body, okay, which is ample fiber, ample protein. Okay, while you are supporting these two, suppose you sleep and your nutrition is not on point, make movement a habit. Okay, that's something you can always do. I mean, maybe loading will come a little later, but make movement a habit. You have something called NEAT, which is non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which is basically we as human beings are built to move. Okay, so it is we burn more calories moving through the day than actually an exercise session. An exercise session actually burns only about 300, 400 calories, 300, 350 calories. But if you move through the day, you actually burn 400, 500 calories. Okay, so if your sleep and your nutrition is not on point, support yourself with movement. Like I said, 20 minutes here and there, get up, move around. Okay, once the sleep is slightly better, then start strength training as an additional layer, is what I would say.
So, those women who have never worked out before, how can they start now? What tips would you give them to start?
Like I said, start working with a good coach. Okay, because your joint health is important, your core health is important. I mean, you need to prepare yourself for both these. Postures are extremely, extremely important. We spoke about this. Okay,
Yeah.
so invest in yourself, give it 3 months, learn these things, and then you progress to a gym. If you want to do it at home, okay, you can start. There's no harm. Simple things like glute bridges, wall sits, chair squats, planks, wall push ups. These are easy movements you can start with. Okay, do it for half an hour, 20 minutes. There are so many videos on YouTube. Okay, one day do your push muscles, one day do your pull muscles, which is like wall push-ups and push your weight or push bands. You can work with bands. Okay, push your bands over your head. So get used to these movements gradually at home, 20 minutes 3 times a week. Okay, start with that and then build up. Before you load, work with somebody to strengthen your core and your joints well, is what I would say.
So a lot of women, they also struggle with the body image issues during this phase. So how can they move from frustration to acceptance while still working on their health?
Body image issues come with our whole narrative again that women need to be thin, we need to be small. Skinny is the best. Okay, a lot of us are still stuck standing on the scale and getting validated from the scale. Okay, we are growing, our hormones are changing, our body is changing, and it's okay. There are men, this is something that I was at a swimming pool. Okay, And there is this coach who's standing in, screaming out instructions. He's wearing this very tiny swimming trunks and he has this huge stomach. Okay. And he is not even thinking twice about the fact that he has this huge stomach hanging out of his tiny little shorts. But the moment a woman has a small tummy, we start judging ourselves so much that we don't even feel confident enough to wear a bikini. Okay, forget bikini. I haven't seen a woman who is slightly big made even wearing a V cut costume. You know, we wear shorts. That's how much we emphasize so much on the way our body looks, you know, while men are so confident irrespective of their tires. I mean, that's the discrepancy we live in today. Okay, so I tell women our bodies are changing and that is okay. Okay, what is important is we move away and we start looking at fitness as to how we age, how strongly we age,
Yes, yes, I
you know, how
absolutely
much
agree.
strength we have, how much energy we have, how well we sleep, how well we function. These are far more important than, oh my god, मेरा 1.5 इंच बढ़ गया है, 1 kg बढ़ गया है, you know, and constantly standing on the scale and getting into this insecurity loop and then going and crash dieting. And crash dieting does nothing but makes you lose even more muscle, and you are just setting yourself up for a very frail future. I mean, aging is inevitable, but frailty is not. So stop. I mean, we need to stop judging our body like it's some validation, you know. So I think we need to change how we see fitness and how we feel more than how we look. So my thing would be like, look at your strength, look at your sleep, look at your energy levels, look how fast you can climb up the stairs and down the stairs. You know, when you look at a parapet, how easily do you are you able to step up on a high parapet? Look at these things, you know. I mean, more than anything else, the little weight I put on, I start jumping even more because I'm like, forget the weight, I don't want to lose my jumping, you know, my jump squats and stuff like that, because that is what is far more important in aging, your grip strength, you know, aging strongly. So we need to look at it differently, Dr. Sulpa.
Yeah. So, women who feel stuck, low on energy, and confused, what is that one step that you would give her to start in this week?
Like I said, people who are stuck and low on energy, first we figure out where the energy loss is coming from. And the next thing I would definitely say is movement. Walk, you know, don't push if you are feeling some. We also know that women in midlife go through a lot of emotional turmoil. I
Yes.
mean, we know that depression and anxiety is very, very, very real. It's, I mean, we might just say, you know, push through, but that's not the right way at all. I mean, you are, we, with our hormones, we are also reassessing our whole life. I mean, this is my belief. Okay, there are a lot of pent up emotions, there are a lot of baggages, that desires that we have suppressed in our life that start actually surfacing at this time of our life. Okay, so it, instead of telling a woman push through, I would say, if you are feeling stuck, if you are feeling down, if you are frustrated, if you are depressed, move, just walk. Nature will help you. Breathe. You
Yes.
know, breathing is so important. Gentle movements are important. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I love strength training, I love pushing weights, but when a person is in that stage where they are anxious and they are feeling stuck, it becomes an additional burden. So
Yes.
maybe a week, 10 days, just walk for 20 minutes. Move your body. That is important because the moment you move your body, your energy starts shifting. Okay, your mindset starts shifting. That is more important. So self care by movement is important. Okay, but in 10-15 days, start moving to, okay, now I need to start pushing a little bit. Okay, but the first step would be movement.
So, what would you say to a woman who feels that she's past her prime? What would be your one message to such a woman?
What is your definition of prime? I would first ask you, what is your definition of prime?
Prime
If
is
by
again,
prime, yeah, tell
usually
me.
thing is yes, they define their prime by the reproductive years and good health and more energy levels and the looks of it and the body and yes,
Yeah, so by prime, if you mean your hormone levels, okay, then of course, um, your hormones are never going to be the same. But by prime, if you mean metabolic health, your energy levels, and uh, tighter body, more clear mind, more sorted, more boundaries, more no nonsense, then I think it's just yet to come.
come.
Okay? I mean, metabolically, a woman who strength trains, who takes care of her nutrition and takes care of her needs, is way younger than a woman in her 50s who is strength training regularly, who is fueling her body well, who is sleeping well, is actually more metabolically younger than a 30-year-old who's not doing that. Today, I am 46 years old, 45 years old, and I can kick anybody's ass in the gym or outside the gym. I mean, we went trekking, and I had a guide who was 26 years old, okay, very, very fit guy, and I was racing him up the mountain. Okay, and I'm not saying, okay, I do have a history of strength training, but 63-year-old Nasreen can today squat and lunge more than probably 45, 48-year-old another client of mine who has never done strength training, who doesn't even know how to hold her core. Okay, so so again, I'm going to come back to my fact that uh, you can your metabolism doesn't slow down before 60, so you can always pick up the pace, and you if you are active and diligent and committed to the process, you will really be metabolically stronger and younger than anybody, even half your age. Okay. Plus comes the clarity of mind, the no nonsense attitude. This is me accepting yourself unconditionally and putting your boundaries. It's actually the most beautiful phase of your life. I mean, so this whole thing that, oh, I'm too old, I'm past my prime, and I think it's just sold to you. I mean,
It's just
it's
there in the mind. It's
yes,
just in the mind.
yes.
We need to rewire our mind.
Yeah, it is a lot to do with conditioning and rewiring our minds, right? I mean, that's what it is. Thankfully, now I mean, they're doing a lot of research on this, and there are proven statistics that, we can get stronger and we can, build the
Yes.
life we want. So thankfully, I mean, when I say this, it wouldn't sound like I'm just saying it out of thin air. It's backed by stats and facts. So
Lovely, lovely. I had a wonderful session with you. So I really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for giving such a powerful and a practical conversation. Your approach to fitness in midlife, which is rooted in strength, sustainability, and understanding of the body, is something that so many women actually need to hear, especially because they are always in that mind of feeling stuck and they are feeling frustrated and they are actually feeling disconnected from their bodies during this phase of their life, and they don't know what to do and how to go about it. So though, for those who resonated with today's conversation and would like to explore Sumaya's work further, I will be putting the links in the comment section. You can get in touch with her, explore her work, look at her pages, and then get in touch with her. And if you are struggling with midlife changes and are looking for a structured, personalized guidance, I invite you to book a one on one call with me. The link is again in the comment section. So let's bring clarity to what your body is trying to tell you and create a plan that would actually work for you. So link to connect is again I'm mentioning in the comment section. So thank you so much for watching today, and thank you Sumaya for this beautiful wonderful session today.
Thank you, Dr. Sulva, for the lovely opportunity. I really, really enjoyed speaking with you, and it's such a pleasure being here. And I wish every woman all the best, and I wish that they start their strength training journey, and it's a promise that their bodies will respond beautifully. All the
And one
best.
takeaway is that please don't try to do push yourself hard. Go with a coach who can guide you in a stepwise manner on how and where to begin. So thank you so much, Sumaya. Thank you so much.